Well. So Canon Rumors released a nice little screenshot of what looks to be leaked video selections on the Canon R5 for what you can choose, going up to 8K. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Magnus, and if you're new to my channel, I like to talk about camera news, tips, and tricks. So if you're new to my channel, definitely consider subscribing. And today we're talking about basically what's behind me right here in this screen. Canon Rumors got their hands on what looks like to be a screenshot of the different features in the recording modes that you can select when using the R5. So we all knew that the R5 was going to be able to record 8K RAW. But we had questions as to what are the limits and what's going to be possible. Canon Rumors got their hands on a nice little screenshot and confirmed a couple of things. Now let's go over them. One of the first things that they show in this interesting screen that I've got behind me right now is the selection mode of how to select the different video features. I like the layout better here because you could select your resolution, then go down, select your frame rate, then go down and select your compression type. That is a lot better. Now I use the 1DX Mark III, and the 1DX Mark III just had a bunch of different video formats that you had to just scroll to find the one that you wanted to use. This one is a little bit more of a cleaner interface where it goes from 8K down to 4K down to full HD. And it doesn't look like 720p is an option, but it hasn't been for a while. One interesting thing that I would want to see, and that I didn't see really in this screenshot, is would you have 24 frames per second in 1080p? Or what are your limits in 1080p? What are the frames per second that you can choose? Now, what was conspicuous is that even though Canon Rumors stated, yes, you can do 30 frames per second in 8K, it didn't really show it in this screenshot. This screenshot shows the DCI 8K, and it shows that the options that you could select are 25 frames per second and 24 frames per second. And then it had the 50p kind of grayed out because it's, I guess, the difference between NTSC and PAL, but it doesn't look like it would let you select 50 frames per second anyway under this setting. So it's weird that it just didn't list a lot. I would imagine that once you select, let's say, 8KU, which would be Ultra HD style, so it's like the traditional 16:9 format of 8K, which would be like 7680 by 4320. That would probably let you do 30 frames per second since it would be easier on the processor. That's what I kind of get from this, and then it would probably open up the frames per second as much as you're going to get on that 8K, and then 4K would probably go all the way up to 120 frames per second. Who knows what 1080 is going to do, if much at all, because I think that Canon's going to focus more on their higher resolution and try to steer away from 1080 or giving you a lot in 1080. Though a lot of creators still want the ability to record 1080 and they don't feel the need to record 4K, which I could understand based on the data rates and the editing. But me personally, I don't record anything less than 4K, basically because I haven't had an issue editing and processing and uploading in 4K for years. I was editing 4K off the 5D Mark IV, the MJPEG codec with ease, so 4K has been more natural to me than 1080p ever was. 1080p, I think of it as low res at this point. And that usually happens after you're used to. So 8K, I don't know if I'll be doing anything in 8K, but if a situation calls for the need for 8K, I'm definitely going to consider using it going forward. The leak also stated that you won't be able to record to 2 cards simultaneously, which is not a huge loss. It's a nice to have, but if we don't have it, then we could understand. And it basically also says that you can record for 8K up to and possibly over 15 minutes with no overheating issues, which is nice to hear. It seems that this camera is basically almost like flawless. It doesn't really have any flaws that we need to be concerned about. So it's amazing that Canon is about to release a killer with this camera. So I think I'm definitely picking it up, but what do you guys think? Let me know what it would take for you not to pick this camera up. It's definitely a price thing for me. If it's priced way overpriced, then no, I'm not picking it up. Like, for example, if it's priced like close to like the 1DX series, then no thanks. I'll leave it on the table. But if it's reasonably priced, like the 5D Mark IV was, around that price range of like $35 to $4,000, then they got me sold. And if they release it less than that, holy cow, they're going to never have that camera in stock. But let me know what you guys think. Definitely hit a like button. I'm trying to grow this channel as much as possible, and I would like to grow it with you guys because quite honestly, you're my camera family, and I appreciate each and every one of you that leaves a comment and hits that like button. But as always, you can make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus, and I'm out. See you guys later.